In this day and age in the gaming world, chances are you hear the word microtransactions thrown around quite a lot. What is a microtransaction?
A microtransaction is an in-game transaction to buy in-game loot with your real money.
The original purchase price is no longer enough to pay the bills of these game makers. They have to hit you with the microtransactions. According to Wikipedia, the first game to use microtransactions was all the way back in 2006 when Bethesda sold horse armor for Elder Scrolls Oblivion. It was $2.50. Real bank breaker here. Now, $2.50, that's not really a lot, and horse armor, that doesn't really seem like anything that can be all that game-changing, yet people were outraged, believe it or not. And to this day, people still can't decide if they love or hate microtransactions. Well, let me just say very few people, I guess, love them. So, just as an example, let's go ahead and look at the World of Warcraft shop. People were very upset about this recently. They offered this entire transmog set to players who wanted to buy a 6-month subscription. So if you bought a 6-month subscription, they would offer this cosmetic piece. And if you look under the transmog sets, that's the only set there is. So this was the very first time that they've had a transmog set you can buy. Now, traditionally speaking, transmogging and making yourself look cool is a big goal of the game. As you can see right here, a lot of people running around on mounts. A lot of people have transmogs that make them look very unique, very cool. It's a big part of the game. So as you can see, here's a transmogrifier here. You can create your own outfit, and it costs in-game gold. People can pay real money to get this set. Naturally, a lot of people are very upset about that. And that is one huge flaw for a lot of these games. There are plenty of people who would really like to get this item and maybe have plenty of time to play the game. They're good at the game, but they don't necessarily have $20 to shell out on this. So maybe they look at this as something that they really want and simply can't have unless they pay real life money, which is tight for them. We have bundles, so you can get, it looks like a mount, a pet, and some of these bundles are, I don't want to call them a ripoff. For example, here, one of the things, or a couple of the things you get are actually for other Blizzard games. So this bundle actually looks like you're getting a lot more. If you pay attention, that's Tracer, and that's a Hearthstone card. So really, these three things are all you're getting out of that bundle. You can buy pets, and a lot of these pets are battle pets, which means they can actually participate in that activity, and quite frankly, they're really good, usually. And they sort of have to be good, because otherwise, I mean, can you imagine paying real life money for a pet that's a loser? No one's doing that. Some of the insanely cool mounts, such as this one, in my opinion, and many others that you see running by, you think, oh, that's really cool. How do I get that mount? I want to farm it. And then it turns out, oh, it's just a store mount. They cost a lot of money. A lot of people would argue that makes them not cool right off the bat. So this achievement wants you to collect a certain amount of mounts. I could actually get this achievement right now if I just bought all of the in-store mounts, or at least get myself very close to it. In a little way, that is sort of pay to win, because someone who can afford it can get that distinct advantage. It looks like there's actually 17 mounts for sale, which means you can boost that achievement by 17 mounts just by paying some money. I mean, granted, it would be several $100s, but you could still do it. Additionally, we have some of these other game features. Now, these I can't really rag on a whole lot because these are, I mean, frankly, something that are very important and I think actually need to be in the game. However, you can also purchase a character boost. So you can get I think it's a level 50 character, yeah. You can buy a level 50 character for $60, which means you just skip the entire leveling process, and boom, there you go, you have a nearly maxed character. And I'm not gonna lie to you, a lot of people do this. And that's the other thing, there are a lot of people who are working full-time who can afford to buy a character boost, but can't afford it time-wise to level a character. So just throw money at the problem. Here we are in Overwatch. This is another game that, I mean, the whole reward system is practically up for sale. I believe there is, I don't know if you can directly buy currency. I think you get it as a reward for buying loot boxes. You can get all of these different skins, sprays, voice lines, victory poses, highlight intros, a lot of really cool stuff, don't get me wrong. And what's kind of annoying about loot boxes is, like, it's mainly random. Let's say I wanted the mechanic skin, right? I can do this in one of two ways. I can earn enough credits through the loot box and then buy it. And so every loot box has a chance to give me, let's say, 250 credits. So I would have to open up enough loot boxes to get enough to purchase it, or I can basically get it as a drop, which of course is very unreliable. You also earn money and these skins in the traditional way by playing and earning them. Let me buy 2 loot boxes. $2, just $2. Couldn't hurt the bank account. $2, it's just $2. Oh, don't show that. Great. And see, I want to point something out. Look how easy that was for me to do. I didn't have to put any card information in. It already gets that. Sorry, this is loud. It's gotta open. Okay. So, just a whole bunch of junk. Actually, I kind of like that spray. And let's open another one. Okay, those were 2 super bad loot boxes. So, my $2, I mean, I could have gotten 2 loot boxes literally from probably playing for an hour. That was just an idea at how quick the transaction can be. I mean, you saw that. Literally, I just decided, alright, you know what, we'll toss a few bucks in the game. It already has all my payment information from billing me from World of Warcraft. It already knows it's going to make the transaction as seamless as possible. That's a very good business tactic. Don't make it hard to get paid. So, I would like to show you an example where I think that microtransactions are very well done, and that's in Apex Legends. So, I think Apex Legends actually has a really nice way of handling the whole microtransaction things. A lot of other games have done similar things like Warzone and Fortnite, and I think it's a model that has possibly the most potential and definitely the least potential for pissing people off. Essentially, what Apex Legends has done is they offer the game to you for free. But if you want to get a lot of really cool, sick stuff, then these little loot ticks are available for sale if you want to boost the odds of you getting something sick. They also offered some extremely rare rewards that are you are very unlikely to see unless you spend a ton on these packs. The first primary thing that gets you in the door is what's called the Battle Pass. Generally, what the Battle Pass is something that you progress through, but at each stage you earn a new reward. You've already paid the initial amount, so you just play through and earn the rest of this content. This one is like $10, and they usually last an entire season. I think this one's been going on for a couple months now. They offer different rewards, like this skin. This is a sweet little skin for the Prowler. You know, you get skins, gun skins, voice lines. So I actually really like the model of the Battle Pass because it allows me to play Apex Legends for free. If I like and I really enjoy the game, and I think I can play a lot this season, I can just go ahead and buy the Battle Pass for $10, and I get just a ton of rewards. And usually if you complete the rewards at the end, you will get a super duper sick skin. Ultimately, things like this are just going to be up to you as far as how long you play, how cool the rewards are in your opinion. You also want to be careful. This is a great example. Right now, the Battle Pass is saying, hey, you can unlock these cool skins. These 3 items at the top here, they're all for the same gun. And chances are you're just going to pick your favorite one, probably one of these 2, and stick with that. So that makes 2 of these skins at least redundant. My point is, maybe you're not getting as much value as it looks like, and that's something you definitely want to be careful of. But here's the thing, guys. All of the content that you're going to pay money for in the game has to be sick. It has to be super cool. It has to be worth real life money. Which means some of the coolest stuff in the game is probably going to end up being pay to win stuff. It's really frustrating when you're looking at someone, you're like, oh my god, how do you look so cool? How are you so sick? And they're like, well, I spent a little money on the game, and you're just like, damn it, that's not something I'm willing to do. In nearly every game you play, somewhere in that game there's going to be an option where you can spend real money to get a little bit back. Unfortunately, it means a lot in some games and not so much in so many others, and that is the line that gets crossed all the time. With my next point, it brings me back to RuneScape. I highly suggest watching at least this specific part of the RuneScape documentary, which is a story on how the game has evolved throughout the years and what it means to so many people, etc. In that, they go into depth about this huge problem that they had, which was bots. People creating these scripts that run people's accounts for them in order to automate certain processes in the game so that they don't have to do anything to earn lots of gold. And they would go out and, let's say, just chop logs and put them in a bank all day. And by brute force, because these bots are able to run all day long without getting tired, without getting sleepy, without misclicking, without having any of these issues, they could just sit there and rack up these commodities all day. In RuneScape, we have this, the Grand Exchange, which is a marketplace where things can be bought and sold. It's decided by supply and demand. When you have this huge supply of all of these commodities, all of a sudden, we've got a problem. So basically, any of these commodities that actual players would choose to farm, they become worthless. But here's the thing about the bots. The bots were not there to serve lazy players who didn't actually want to play the game. The bots are serving these gold selling companies. So there were these companies that form that sell in-game gold. So you would be able to go to one of these sites and say, I need 30 mil, and then you just pay $10 on your mom's credit card, and boom, all of a sudden, you are wealthy in the game. These people are farming these in-game things for coins, and they are getting paid real money for it. And it takes a pretty severe turn for the worst. So next comes the sad part, and the part that became a serious problem where RuneScape decided it needed to do something. They tried everything to get rid of the gold farmers. They took PKing away. They basically took away free trade. They did some seriously drastic things to the game that literally caused everyone to leave the game. When they took PKing out of the game, when they took away free trade, I kid you not, I felt so cheated that this game that I've been playing for so long could just all of a sudden have this big drastic update where it just didn't feel like the game I wanted to play at all anymore. The reason that Jagex decided to take desperate measures against gold farming was because of some of the really terrible things that happened behind the scenes with these gold farmers. This is an article from The Economist. Venezuela's paper currency is worthless, so its people seek virtual gold. Venezuelans playing RuneScape can earn 500,000 to 2 mil gold pieces an hour by mass murdering dragons and mass producing runes. At current exchange rate, 1 mil coins are worth about 50 cents. A gold farmer can earn $40 a month. A tidy sum in this country where the minimum wage is worth $7.50 a month. In these impoverished countries, it is literally profitable to have 5, 10, 20 people sitting in a sweatshop, a literal sweatshop, sitting on computers playing RuneScape all day, and then trading that currency just to put food on the table. A few games have come up with what I believe to be a fantastic solution. I believe whoever came up with this deserves some sort of award. What these games have done is they have introduced these tokens in the game that you can use to redeem for playtime or subscription time. Alternatively, you can buy them and sell them in-game for gold. So now you have this one-to-one where the company isn't necessarily losing anything. People are getting playtime out of it, and people are staying off these gold-selling websites. Additionally, people in-game who before may not have been able to purchase or afford membership can now do so. They can do so and support themselves entirely in-game through in-game currency. I think not only is it the best of both worlds, but it adds an additional benefit. When gold sites undercut these prices, that's when the problems happen, and I'm sure there's still some scumbags who choose to go through third-party websites to get better exchange rates. And many other games have followed suit. So in World of Warcraft, they have the same thing. You can buy a WoW token for $20, which is worth 110k, or for 110k, you can buy the token on the auction house and buy game subscription time. I think that's a great example of how to combat that gold selling, as well as a positive use of microtransactions. So, I think it is time to talk about the dark side of microtransactions. EA did a big goof recently where they released Star Wars Battlefront 2, and for the first time in a long time, people really liked their game. After a while, they realized they couldn't play as Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader, and guess what? They found out that they had to be unlocked with credits. Credits can be bought for real-life money. You can, however, earn them in-game. However, someone crunched the numbers, and it was approximately 80 hours of gameplay to unlock these quintessential characters. I believe they actually ended up in a lawsuit. They were basically saying these people are enabling child gambling via these loot boxes. Got real messy, got real bad. Didn't end well. But that was because the progression system was locked behind a paywall. So basically, it was super pay to win. And it wasn't just cosmetics. So when you ask me my thoughts on microtransactions, I gotta say it's a really fine line. Some people feel very differently than other people. I have two friends. One of them doesn't mind paying for stuff in-game at all. He will buy the in-game currency, he'll buy skins, he'll buy whatever he wants just because he wants it. And he doesn't feel any guilt about it. And I gotta admit, for some things, I'm in the same boat. But then I have another friend who refuses to pay money. He hates microtransactions. He can't stand the fact that he has to pay real life money for these certain things. And he just hates it. But for a guy like that, he's going to be very upset if there's a paywall before any content that he can do, and he's not gonna have a good time. I don't think you should be able to buy your way ahead in life. I don't think you should be able to buy your way ahead in a game. I do think that you should be able to buy some cool cosmetic stuff. In closing, microtransactions are a very complicated thing, and people just feel really differently about them. Some people hate them, some people love them, and in some occasions they can absolutely ruin a game. And looking forward, I think game developers are going to really have to tiptoe their way around it and figure out a way where both parties can benefit equally from microtransactions. I am all about everyone getting paid. I want people to get their money, and I want people to enjoy their game, you know? And I really don't mind paying a little bit of money to support a game that I really do enjoy and feel like I can get something cool out of. Additionally, around holidays, this last Christmas, me and my friends, we bought each other mounts on World of Warcraft, and it was a nice little way to give a gift for our friends for something that we all do. And frankly, it was something more meaningful than I think we could have given each other with real life gifts. But I think microtransactions really become a problem when you can truly pay to get ahead of other players. That's never gonna go down well. So anyway, thank you very much for listening to this long video of ranting about microtransactions. I appreciate it. And let me know what you think. Do you like microtransactions? Do you think they have no place in video games? Do you think they're completely necessary now with the way the gaming industry is? Let me know, and I'll see you later. Leave a like if you liked it, leave a comment if you got something to say, and smash sub if you want to see more. There will be more. There will be so much more. Goodbye.